Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today is just going to be a short video based on some questions I've gotten. You know, why didn't I go with the Tacoma? Why didn't I go with the Chevy ZR2 Bison? And why did I choose the Ford Ranger Raptor? So I'm going to give you my take. I've owned a Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. I have owned a 2016 Tacoma TRD Pro. I understand it's different from the newer versions, but we're going to talk about that. And I just wanted to give you my take. So if you're in the mid-size truck market and you're looking at any of these mid-size trucks, I just kind of want to go over why I chose the Ford Ranger Raptor and what I think about the Tacoma and the Chevy Colorado. Not going to touch too much on the Nissan, just not a fan. There's no hate, just not a fan. So I'm going to show you my Ford Ranger Raptor real quick, and then we're going to actually jump inside, get online, look at builds, look at prices, and kind of have a discussion on what you should get and what's best for you and your circumstances and what you're doing with your truck. Hey guys, so it's a little windy out here, so I apologize if there's a little wind noise. This is my 25 Ford Ranger Raptor in Marsh Gray. Haven't done a whole lot to it yet, and I do plan on doing the perch lifts and all that stuff. Just got a couple accents on there. Everything is still, you know, nice new. I just put, you know, a couple accents, got a bed cover on there. I threw some rock blocks on here. A lot of hate for these, but it keeps crap away from your doors and your windows. These are gonna stay on until I find a suitable replacement for rock sliders. And yeah, you know, got the flags on there. But overall, I love the Marsh Gray. Got the pod lights on from Novsite. Those are easy on and off on their upfitter switches. But I really enjoy the Ford Ranger Raptor, guys. I think this is probably the funnest truck I've ever owned, and I know there's a ton of owners out there that are going to feel the same way. It's fast, it's fun, it's a premium truck. It's got a beautiful suspension. It soaks up every single bump you're hitting. It's not like you're riding in a leaf spring truck where it shakes the crap out of your teeth. It just does a fantastic job. Ford really refined this through and through, and I think they developed a really good truck. But let me flip the camera around so we can talk a second. All right, y'all. So after owning the other mid-size vehicles, I went and test drove the Tacoma iForce, and that was a 2025. And of course, I have test driven a Chevy Colorado ZR2. And it really is no different than my Colorado Trail Boss. Same engine, same transmission. The iForce, however, was kind of nice because it has that torque, but on the flip side, you are dealing with a hybrid powertrain that's relatively new and has, you know, some quirks right now while it's still in its, I guess, learning phase, or Toyota's learning how to fix things. Ford, however, has been out with this for a while, and some people are going to come out and say, well, Ford has transmission problems too. They do, but they're fewer and far between than Chevy and Tacoma. Okay, so we know, like, as of right now, I still get messages from Chevy owners with the 8-speed transmissions that have constant valve body failures, constant overall transmission failures, and there's no update to the parts. So even when mine failed, which it did at 20,000 miles, my transmission valve body just went out. It died right here in my driveway. There's a video on it. And it's also, I kept getting check engine lights out on the trail, left me almost stranded, had to shut the truck off, pop the battery, restart it, do all this stuff, right? So just a lot of problems. And some Tacoma owners are reportedly reporting, you know, having engine issues and also transmission issues with the new hybrid powertrain, though maybe few and far between, but they're still having problems nevertheless. And of course, the Ford has a 10-speed, and some people have reported a few quirks here and there. So just know, with any truck, you're going to have its quirks, but at the end of the day, it's what you're doing and what truck that you really prefer and what's going to be best for you in your situation. So why did I choose the Ford Ranger Raptor? Well, I had no good luck with Chevy. I tried to be a Chevy fanboy. I love the way they look. I think the ZR2s are super awesome. I thought my Trail Boss was awesome. It was a great truck for the first 20,000 miles until things just started crapping out. I loved my Tacoma when I had it. I had a 2016 TRD Pro. It had no power. Same with Chevy. Power is decent, but it could be better. If you're going to buy a Bison for 60 grand, I think that it should have an engine like this in it. Why not have a powerful engine to match a really nice truck? And even with the 8-speed transmission. Chevy knows there's a problem. There's lawsuits out there about the problem. You know, why haven't they upgraded that transmission? Throw it, you know, if I'm going to pay $60K, it's different from spending the $40,000 on a Trail Boss than to spending $60,000 for some lift, tires, and the same engine and same transmission. It boggles my mind. So you have some better shocks, but is the lift, the tires, really just lift tires and then you have the AEVs, skid plates, is that really worth $12,000 more? I guess it depends on you guys, and that's where it comes down to the Ford Ranger Raptor. It's a completely different truck. It's built for speed. It has the Fox live valve shocks, and it's got all those bells and whistles. So is it meant to go out and rock crawl right now? No. Can it? Yes, it can. It does have front and rear locking differentials, but you need to add the tires in the lift, which Ford should do it from the factory, but they don't. So it really, for me, it all came down to what was the best bang for my buck. And I felt that the Ford was the better bang for my buck, and I'm going to show you why. We're going to step inside and look at some prices, some builds, and to see maybe what would be best for you. And you know, how I kind of made my decision was like, if I'm spending $58,000, $57,000, $58,000, what am I going to get for my money? And that's really what it boiled down to. So let's check it out. All right, y'all, welcome back. So we are going to go ahead and talk about all of what we just discussed outside. I want to start with the Chevy because I'm not trying to sell you a Ford. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just trying to help you pick out the best choice for you. I love Chevy. I think these Bisons look amazing. They are a good looking truck. A couple points though I did want to make out is they are so you can see here up for the cash price is $60,743. Okay, and that's the standard ZR2 Bison AEV edition with no additional add-ons. You can view the window sticker here a second. Obviously the dealer has, or the window sticker here is $65,220. That's crazy. That's crazy for a mid-size truck. And then so out the door you're looking at $70,000+, especially if you get an extended warranty, which you need because of these transmissions and some of the electrical quirks that you're gonna have with the Chevy that they're still working on. So even when we get out of here, so I did find this one, or a pretty much the same one, right? For $58,220. So that's not too bad, right? $58,220. They said it was originally $65,220. So same one. They got it discounted $6,500, so $58,000. So maybe you can get out with even a warranty with the original sticker price, $65,000. So love Chevy. I've got no hate towards them. I tried to be a Chevy fanboy. If you're looking for rock, like rock crawling, trail riding, these things are amazing. They do a great. I obviously haven't been in the desert. I have been to the sand dunes though, and I've been to a ton of trails with the Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. And I basically had built like a ZR2, minus all of the AEV equipment on it. And I think it did amazing. It did amazing until it started having problems, right? My problem started about probably around 8 or 10,000 miles is when I started getting check engine lights, and I just was like, it's fine. Excuse me. And then I had to, I started getting them on the trails, and I was like, what the heck? And that's when I had to like turn the vehicle off, restart it, all this stuff, right? Well, it turns out from the beginning of my first check engine light till 20,000 miles, till I parked it in my driveway, tried to put it in reverse, and the valve body failed. And that's it. That's what it did. And then every time you would restart the truck, it reset the valve body. So you may run 10, 20, 50, 100 miles and you're good until you're not, until it strands you again. So my valve body was completely shot, and Chevy knows about this. The dealer told me they know about this. They have valve bodies on back order. They have transmissions on back order. Anyways, not trying to sway you away from the Chevy. It's a great truck. I think it looks really good. Just know what you're getting into. Like like anything. So I just wanted to show you $65,000 price tag, $58,220. Maybe you can get out the door at 65 after all that stuff. Not a bad deal if you are willing to accept those risks with that. So anyways, let's move on. I just did a standard Ranger build here. I think the Ranger Raptor is a really great price for what you get. I'm just going to kind of scroll through here. So you got the EcoBoost, obviously it's full drive, front and rear locking differentials. This group just comes with like all this stuff that you can kind of read. I wish they offered a 35 package. I think Ford really dropped the ball on that, not offering a 35 package, so a lift in 35. So I can do a lift in 35s with a perch collar, and then just add some 35s to it, although we do have to remove the crash bars. But it'd be nice if they just offered that from the factory. But the 285s are really good, and remember, Ford put a ton of research into this truck, so it operates the best with this setup. And I get that. It's not necessarily meant for rock crawling, y'all. It's meant for desert running. It's meant to go fast and hit some jumps. I know y'all have been on YouTube Shorts. You see people hitting these jumps with these Ranger Raptors, and frankly, I don't know if I would do that with mine. But mine did not come with the bead locks. I didn't really care about that. Side steps are included. I did have Ford did include the bed spray. But anyways, when it all comes down to it, you got these here, and then we're looking at $58,360. My price was $57, so obviously probably some dealer discounts or whatever there. So $57,000, and you get the premium Ford Ranger Raptor with the Raptor name, the 405 horsepower, a 10-speed transmission. That reportedly people have been saying that the 10-speed transmission has been doing really good in the Ranger Raptor, and not so good in the F-150 Raptors, but definitely not as complaints as the Chevy. But again, with any truck, you get those quirks. I forgot to talk outside about it, but you have the Jeep Gladiator, the 25 Gladiator Rubicon, which is like obviously, like if you want to do like rock crawling and stuff like that, this is great. It is the most underpowered in the segment. So you got a Jeep, I believe, at 285 horsepower. It's got an 8-speed. You got the Ranger Raptor at 405 horsepower base, and you can tune it up to 450, 460. And then you have the Chevy 310 horsepower. And then we'll double check the Toyotas because I don't remember. But so this one is a Rubicon build with should be a hard top. So I just tried to kind of get it around the same price. And again, you're looking at $57,790. Nothing super special here, just a regular Rubicon, front and rear locking differentials. So this is like a Lego. You can pretty much build it any way you want to. So I've seen tons of Gladiators on the trail, and they do really, really good. Our buddy has a Gladiator Rubicon, forget the year, but it does amazing. Everywhere it does amazing. It's got a 3-inch lift, I think, with some Falcon shocks and some 35s, and does a great job. No issues. It's just, to buy a new one, you're looking at, again, 57 is that tag here, so you're looking at about 60,000. So I did find a Ford Ranger Raptor locally for $54,883 in the shelter green. That's pretty sick. I just wanted to show you that's a pretty good deal. Most Ford dealers right now have a $6,000 to $10,000, $5,000 to $10,000 markup on these trucks. They're not super available. However, there are about 3 in my area, and one of them is only $54,000, which is an amazing deal, especially in the popular shelter green. I just wanted to add that in there. But I wanted to also take you back over here. This is the Tacoma I wanted. I love the look of these new Tacomas. I think they look amazing. Gosh, they look so nice. I hate those tires on there. Obviously, the stock tires. You need a lift in tires on this truck, just like you would on the Ford Ranger Raptor. You need a lift in tires. The only one that comes out of the factory ready to go, honestly, is the Bison. I get it. You're paying for that though. So $60K, and you're getting 35s, 3-inch lift. DSSV shocks, and I think that's a great deal. But you have to accept the quirks that come along with the transmission. Not so many problems with the engine, but some problems with those transmissions. But let's talk about the Tacoma TRD Off-Road iForce Max. This is the way I would have built it, and this has all of the features and the sway bar the sway bar disconnect, or the stability bar disconnect, they call it. So this one, guys, came out to $59,450, if you can even find one that has everything you want. And I could not find one within 250 to 500 miles here. They don't have the stabilizer disconnect mechanism here. Very hard to find. And it's crazy because I tried to find this with the technology tow package. I can't find one, so it looks like you'd have to special build one. But $59,450, man, that's just a lot of money. And let's just jump back in here. I just want to see, does it not tell me how much power this has real quick? I guess not. I wanted to kind of see how much power that the iForce Max was pushing out for the TRD Off-Road. Does it tell us? 326 horsepower, 465 foot-pounds of torque. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. The Ford Ranger Raptor is 405 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque. That hybrid battery really, does do wonders with the torque, if you can trust it. Again, it's a whole matter of, will it work, will it not? I've seen a ton of electronical issues, people commenting about the Tacomas having shock issues. The shock towers are busting through the top cups. I guess they have a fix out for that, but there's just a couple issues. There's some issues with all of the trucks, right? So I guess what it really boils down to is what you're going to be doing with the truck. So I just put through together this real quick. So let's just read over this real quick, because this is what's going to boil down for you and your choice. So you got the Ford Ranger Raptor, 405, 10-speed, front and rear lockers. All of these have a two-speed low-range transfer case. The Ford Ranger Raptor is going to come with the Fox Live valves, Watts link rear, high ground clearance, Raptor tuned suspension, skid protections, and then you have a ton of drive modes, right? Just a ton of drive modes, and you can change the dampening, you can change the exhaust notes, and you can change the steering all right on your steering wheel, which is awesome because the Ford Ranger Raptor sounds really good. Chevy Colorado, and let's just double tap this. High speed off-road focus, okay? It's meant to go fast. It's meant to jump. It's meant to have fun. Desert, sand dunes, forest roads. I've taken it on trails. It can do trails, but it really needs that lift in 35s. Chevy Colorado, 310, 8-speed. Troubles with the 8 speeds. Obviously, it has selectable lockers. It's a Bison. Same good transfer case, and then it's got the AEV Bison upgrade that you pay $11,000, $12,000 for. Comes with 35s, widened track, steel skid plates. Those are the stamped boron steel. It's got the hydraulic bump stops, DSSV dampeners, 12.2 inches of ground clearance, and it is. I've seen these ZR2s out of the box do rock crawling, desert running. Granted, they're not super fast, and the Ford Ranger Raptor is obviously gonna drive circles around that. But again, it comes out of the factory ready to go. You want to go hit the trails, forest roads, rock crawl, you can do it. Gladiator with the hardtop, 285 horsepower, 8-speed. Don't hear many issues with the 8 speeds on the Gladiators. I have a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon myself. No issues with the no issues with the transmission, but maybe the engine. It's funny, not funny, really. So front and rear lockers. I've got the rock track, super low range on those Rubicons, and obviously the Rubicon has the Dana 44s. You can disconnect the sway bar, which is awesome, and it comes. You can get the Rubicon X or the 35 package, I believe, on the Rubicon still, maybe. But articulation's great, and these are really good, like it says here, traditional low-speed technical off-road. They do really good in rocks. They do really good. They're not meant to go fast. They're meant to hit obstacles, articulate, and get you through the trail. So when it comes to stuff like that, I guess when it all boils down to is, I'm not saying either truck is better than the other. This is just an informational video to show you, to tell you, like, you know, depending on what you want to do, I think the Ford Ranger Raptor is a great daily driver. I get 16 miles per gallon. I know people with the Chevy Bison are getting about 13 to 14, and the Rubicon Gladiators, I think, are, depending on how you drive it, I think they get about 16 to 18, like real world driving. The Ford Ranger Raptor, though, has been a great daily driver for me. I think the Chevy Bison probably looks amazing as a daily driver, but it doesn't. Obviously, it's not going to get great gas mileage. And the Gladiator probably is a decent daily driver as well. You just got to deal with the solid front rear axle, the solid front rear axles. So to take it back a notch, so at the end of the day, what are you doing? And what truck is going to fit your needs at the price point that you're looking for? And that it's going to differ for everybody. I personally went from the Chevy, and I'm very happy with the Ford Ranger Raptor. I do a lot of trail driving here because this is where we're stationed. However, if I was in the desert like some of my friends, gosh, I would be having a blast. Really hard to get the truck up to its full potential here because it's Virginia and there's mountains. There's not deserts. We will be bringing it up to Michigan to Silver Lake Sand Dunes. I think that will be really, really, really fun. So not to drag the video any longer, appreciate you guys watching. Tell me what you think of the video, where you would be. I mean, so you got the Ford Ranger Raptor sitting at 57, you got the Chevy Colorado sitting at 57, 58 with discounts, but 65 on the sticker, and then you got the Jeep Gladiator sitting around 57, 58,000. So if it was to boil down to it, which one are you picking, why, and what, you know, do you have one of these trucks? Are you happy with it? Put a comment below. Let me know if you're happy with it. If you're having any issues with it, we want to grow the community for off-roading. Are you having issues? Don't be afraid to, just because I own the Ford Ranger Raptor, if I had an issue, I'll tell you the issue because I want you to know. Just like when I owned the Colorado Trail Boss, I had issues and I told everyone the issues. But and because you need to be aware when you're paying this much money for a vehicle. So thank you again for watching, guys. God bless. Happy holidays and stay safe.